country in the world, and it is worth fighting for. It is worth bleeding for, and if it takes it, it's worth dying for the greatest country that this world has ever seen.
Ooh, hey, good morning, dear America family. What's up? I'm doing my best to type something in the chat, but you know what? It's nothing but typos. It's Thursday morning, folks. We're headed full blast into the weekend. Hope you guys are doing well. It's been a fantastic week. We've got plenty to get into. As usual today, the gang is all here. My name is Chad Prather, filling in for Graham Allen, and you are part of the Dear America family. This is the Dear America Army, folks, and I want to remind you guys that this is the place where freedom ain't just a footnote. It's the whole dadgum story, man, and we are going to get rolling today. It's Thursday. The stars and stripes, they are flying. Float those American flags in that Rumble chat. And I hope your coffee is as bold as your convictions and stronger than Kamala Harris's vodka habit, because we're about to roll into this weekend like George Washington, charging across the Delaware River with a Bible in one hand and a musket in the other. Hey, I want to tell you something, folks. While the world spins its wheels in chaos, while the media tries to sell you fear like it's on a buy one, get one free sale, the godless elites are shuffling their little globalist chess pieces. I want to remind you of this one truth. God is still on the throne. He wasn't elected. He can't be impeached. He's not subject to the assassin's bullet, and his term never ends. History is his story. And listen, I'll give you a spoiler alert. He already won. So before we dive into the headlines and the hypocrisy, I want you to take a breath. I want you to look around. You're blessed. Blessed. I don't care what you're going through. I don't care what you've lost. I don't care who's after you. I don't care what trolls are commenting. I don't care what tragedy has been. I do care about the tragedy. I do care about the loss. But at the end of the day, I want you to realize how blessed you are to wake up in the greatest country the world's ever known. In this day and age, you got freedom in your veins. You got a flag that really does still stand for something, and you got a savior that conquered death so you could live with purpose. Folks, that's worth shouting from the rooftops, or at least turning up your speakers. Now is not the time to sit on the sidelines. Now is the time to be thankful, be bold, be the kind of American that your grandkids are going to brag about, because this weekend, as it's coming up, while they try to cancel everything in your life, from your speech to your steak dinners, we're going to be out here praising God, grilling hamburgers, loving our families, standing our ground. Folks, we know freedom ain't free, but thank God Almighty, we still got it. So let's get into it. I want to remind you folks that the good people over at Birch Gold, they did a wonderful thing. They reminded us recently that Trump did not put tariffs on gold and silver bullion. Sweeping tariffs across the globe, and the economy is going crazy right now. And if you guys are relying on the stock market for your retirement, then guess what? You aren't sleeping a whole lot at night. But Trump specifically exempted gold and silver bullion from the tariffs. Now, let me tell you why that's important, because while we have some chaos in our world right now, if you are concerned about your future, you can back up your retirement by creating an IRA that's backed by pure physical gold. And the Birch Gold folks will help you do that. Text DEAR, DEAR, to 989898. They'll send you a free, no-obligation information kit, get you started. It's a free consultation with Birch Gold, and they are the precious metals specialist. Text DEAR to 989898. They can help you learn how to hold gold and silver in a tax-sheltered account. Birch Gold will help you convert an existing IRA or a 401k, whatever you need to do, into an IRA backed by gold with no money out of pocket. So I get my gold from Birch Gold. You should too. We trust them. They got an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. Thousands of thankful customers. Text DEAR to the number 989898. Again, DEAR, DEAR, DEAR. Do it today. Text DEAR to 989898. Get that free info kit. Right, that gum now. Oh, boy, howdy. All right, let's bring him on. Mexican Tony's in the house. Let's get to it, baby. What's up, T?
Oh.
What did we lose?
We lost Tony.
We lost Tony.
I look weird.
You do look weird, dude. Gosh, he's been deported. Just that quick.
So.
He's already been deported.
I can see myself on.
I can see the little version of him. Let's see. Oh no, it's not there. Well, you know what? Let's bring on if Dude Wipes.
That's all right. I don't need to be on the show. It's fine.
Is your camera turned off?
I can just see.
Look at us.
I can see you, Chad. I can see
I know.
Todd. I can see myself in the little camera over here. But yeah, I don't know what's going on.
I don't know. We'll figure it out. If Dude Wipes had a voice, it would be America's favorite redneck hot seat Todd. Let's see if we can bring him on.
Oh, hey,
Look,
yeah,
there he
well,
is.
You know, I don't know, Tony. I don't know. You breaking stuff.
How convenient that the two white guys are on there, but not me. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
All right. Whatever.
It's
All right,
a
I'm
good
going
day.
home. Bye,
It's
guys.
a good day. LeBron.
Log out, Tony, and come back in.
LeBron went home yesterday. The Celtics are in round 2. It is a happy. And the GOAT debate for the greatest basketball player ever is finally over. Thank God it's over and it's done. But I do have a question for you, Chad, and a question for the group, honestly. What? Good Lord, he is gone.
Gone.
Well, and a question for just you, Chad. Have you seen these questions about if you put 100 guys on one gorilla, who would win?
No.
Like, it is taking the internet by storm right now, and
No.
like that. Well, there's a camera. I don't know if that's him.
Did he go pee again?
I don't know. Yeah.
Anyway,
so
no, I haven't
Graham,
seen that
Graham,
question.
I know you're watching. I didn't do this. Yeah, they're asking everybody. It's all over the internet right now that if 100 men tried to kill one gorilla, would they win?
No.
I
Not
agree.
without a weapon.
Yeah, I agree.
Let me tell you, I was in Nigeria back in, this was 90. I was in Nigeria in 96. I was in Nigeria January 96, and I stayed overnight at a park, at a safari park, okay? And the next morning we were loading up the Toyota vans, and we were about to go to our next place. We were traveling all over Nigeria delivering babies, man. We were doing all kind of crazy stuff. And there were baboons all over this park, right? And so I loaded the back of the Toyota van, shut the thing, and I reached around with my foot and kicked the sliding door. I shut the back door. I reached around my foot and just kicked the door so it would slide shut. And I looked up and I saw somebody sitting in the van. And I was like, who's in the van? I'm the only one. I'm packing this up. Everybody else is still, out there in their deal in the hut. And I'm like, who is it? And I looked, and one of those freaking baboons had climbed in the van and was sitting on the bench seat in the first
Nope.
passenger bench seat.
Nope.
Now, these were British-made, deals, and so there's a bench seat up front, and it's like, and I'm like, how do I get this baboon out before he tears this van apart? Like glass and everybody's stuff is in there. And so I'm like going, and so I'm like, if I open up the sliding door, I'm going to be face-to-face with this baboon that can rip my arms off. So I finally had to just nut up and do it, and I jumped out of the way pretty quick, and he started to step out. He looked back. He reached over in the front seat. There was a bag of hard candy, and he grabbed that thing and took it off, and he went down and started distributing it to his little baboon buddies. If 100 men can beat up a gorilla, they're a stronger man than me. I'll just tell you that.
Yeah,
So,
for real. I know.
Oh, boy, there he is. Tony, what's up, buddy? What happened? What's going on, man? I thought you were in El Salvador.
Now we can't hear him.
Are you serious? See, you should have stayed at the home studio, Tony. You should have stayed at the. This is good television, people. Blow
Yeah.
up that chat with American flags. Blow it up, dadgummit. We're still free. I don't care what
Yep.
anybody says. We're
These are
still
not
free.
technical difficulties because he is 6 hours away from me, so I didn't do this.
Isn't it fun though?
It is.
Isn't it fun? I mean, it's
like,
better
like
than-
I said on my show yesterday and on Dear America too, Dear America yesterday, when I do my show, I love these little mistakes on my show because it's funny. I mean, look, the chat's going to make fun of me no matter what. Like if the show goes off perfectly, I'm still going to be made fun of, which I love. That's what we do here. That's
Yep.
what family does. We make fun of each other. But when it comes to this show with you and Graham, man, it's a perfectionist thing. If something goes wrong,
You don't have
I'm
to be
like,
a perfectionist with me, man. We're just here to hang out. This is a morning show. That's the beauty of having a morning show. And I think everybody in the chat would agree. We're here to have fun. Like, we want to get your day started, yell at you a little bit. You could yell back at us. And there's Tony's over there twisting wires,
I don't know
dude.
what he's doing.
Hey, let me ask you this question. Did you see the guy? And this, I don't know. I don't want to make fun of this, but this was a wild video because this could be a tragic ending. I don't know the guy's status. Maybe somebody in the chat can help me. But did you fall or jump? I don't know what
This
happened.
is
This was the
crazy.
Pittsburgh Pirates
Yeah.
thing.
And so watch, like, keep your eye, if you can see my cursor, like, keep your eyes, like, right here if you guys haven't seen it. I've been around baseball my whole life. I ain't never seen nothing like this.
I mean, I know Pirates fans aren't happy, but jumping out of the stands,
Watch him.
like that's 20 feet. Bam. And it looks like he landed on, like, his head or his shoulders. But he's not wearing a shirt. Which, I mean, but that looked like he got ejected out of that seat.
You know, I
And
mean,
I don't-
that might make Major League Baseball rethink, like, you might want to not serve so much alcohol at these games because there's
Yeah.
no way that dude's sober. No way.
I see somebody say that he jumped. I sort of agree. Like, it looked like, Pirates fans are killing themselves. Yeah, somebody said he's in serious condition. I mean, I don't want anybody to get hurt.
No.
That's a bad deal, dude. That's a sad thing, man.
Yeah, that is not good. Dude's not wearing any clothes. I mean, golly.
So look, we talked about, Todd. I mean, you brought up the Lakers, dude. I saw first thing this morning that they lost, and my first thought was Tony because he's a Lakers fan. I'm not a basketball fan. I can't tell you who's in the playoffs. I don't have a clue. I don't even have a clue. And you're what, a Celtics fan?
I am.
And which none of that makes any sense to me.
Well, it's Mississippi, dude. I'm a free agent. I can, we don't have we don't have pro teams here in Mississippi. The only thing we agree on down here is Alabama football. I mean, that's
what I would love to be able to say. I wish that we had like a president or a vice president that could like bro code white man explain sports to me, and maybe help me understand. Like maybe I could sit there and listen to the vice president who would tell me how to like be a man and how to appreciate sports, maybe learn how to drink a beer and just belch and fart and scratch and do the things that men
that
do.
lovely toxic masculinity that the left talks about. I mean, it's great. I live my life according to that code.
I need someone in Washington, D.C., a politician, a vice president would be great, like a guy I could relate to. Tony, are you there?
Yeah.
Look
Yeah.
at miracles happen.
Yeah. There we
Float
go.
that
Let's
American
do
flag
it.
in there.
I heard you
my
talking. I heard you talking about my Lakers. I heard you guys over here while I
Yeah?
was trying to reset everything over here.
Yeah, as Graham would
Yes.
say, okay, we're moving on.
Moving on, exactly. Yep. No, the only thing I can say to that, I love the Lakers. I absolutely freaking despise LeBron James. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's like a double-edged sword there because I want him to move on, but I can't stand that guy, man. That guy's like one of the biggest crybabies in the world to me. I can't stand him, and I don't know what it is. He's a POS to me. That's what he is.
So,
Moving on.
so back to this vice president thing. Like, if I could just sit on the couch and drink a beer or something with a vice president who would teach me how. You know what? We missed the boat.
We missed it. I mean, because according to this guy, I mean,
We coulda had a
we could have
guy.
had it. We could have had it.
Play what he says, and let's see if you men in the chat can relate to this fella here. Watch what he says about you.
But I also was on the ticket, quite honestly, because I could code talk to white guys watching football, fixing their truck, doing that I could put them at ease. I was the permission structure to say, look, you can do this and vote for this. And you look across those swing states, with the exception of Minnesota, we didn't get enough of those votes.
But you could be giving them.
No. Like, no. Not at all. Bro, no. Like, not even close. Like, I have been a toxic male my whole life, and you dodged a war, okay? You pansied out of a war, and you can't even load a shotgun right. Like, no, man. No. Not at all. Not at all.
How many
He
people
said
wake
the
up in the
permission
morning?
structure. What, Tony?
How many people wake up in the morning and they look themselves in the mirror and they're like, I wish I was like Tim Walz.
I wanna be-
that guy. Yep, that guy's my hero.
Yeah.
I want to be like Tim Walz.
Mark
I
Carney
need-
from Canada does it every day. does it every day.
I mean, Mark Carney makes Tim Walz look masculine, which is amazing that somebody can pull up that kind of miracle. But what is a permission structure? I mean,
Yeah,
I'm going to give men a permission structure, white guys
Yeah,
specifically.
Yeah. White guys, you have permission to vote for. I'm giving you permission to vote for Kamala because I'm a man's man too. No, bro, no.
Could
not
you
even close.
imagine? Can you imagine, guys, having the audacity and the lack of self-awareness, like a Tim Walz, to sit there and tell the American people in front of a freaking microphone and camera, to tell them that I'm the permission structure for white guys to actually be masculine, and tell them that it's okay? I mean, can you flip that? Flip that. Let's say you were saying that about women. They would be unglued, dude. Or let's say a person of another race. I was their permission structure for them to do what we were telling them to do. Can you imagine that type of rhetoric? But it's okay because it's open market, free game. It's open season on white dudes. You could say whatever you want to say, and I mean, this guy, who the hell says something like that?
I have no
Who
idea.
says something like that? Like, I can't even imagine talking to my children and being like, you know what? I'm your permission structure on what the decisions you're gonna make in life. Like, you don't say it. You might think it, but you don't say it. And here's who he was giving us the permission structure to vote for. She just gave her first big public speech again, I guess. I mean, I've seen more of her than I care to see, and that's any at all. But Kamala's hammered.
Again.
And she wants to make you think about the little yellow school bus. Watch, except this time it's elephants. Watch this.
In fact, please allow me, friends, to digress for a moment. Okay. It's kind of dark in here, but I'm asking for a show of hands. Who saw that video from a couple of weeks ago? The one of the elephants at the San Diego Zoo during the earthquake? Google it if you've not seen it.
You Google it.
So that scene has been on my mind.
That's what I think.
Everybody's asking me what you've been thinking about these days. Well,
that's what I'm thinking about.
Bro, you want to talk about dodging a bullet.
Bro,
like
listen, the end of
dodging
America.
a bullet.
The end of America. This one was hammered. And let me just can we just go back? Can we go back to the very beginning of that clip? Something that she said. Just play it. I'll stop you. Go.
in fact, please allow me, friends, to digress for a moment. Okay. It's kind of dark in here, but I'm asking for a show of hands.
Racist. Racist. Listen,
Wow.
I don't know. Did you see that video
Of the elephants.
of that guy falling out of the stands at the Pirates game? If you haven't seen it, you need to Google it. That's been on my mind lately.
You're missing your pink hat, Chad.
I
Go
got
ahead.
it. I got it.
Let's do it. The whole segment. Let's do it, baby.
There it is. All right, play the next clip. She wasn't done.
No.
She wasn't done. Come on with it.
No, she paid homage and yeah, right. I can't.
Play it.
Including congressional leaders like Cory Booker, Chris Van Hollen, Chris Murphy, Jasmine Crockett, Maxwell Frost, AOC, and Bernie Sanders.
Yeah, they're great. They're
They're
great.
fantastic. I would like for someone besides this Maryland man crap that's just kind of popped off, this publicity stunt. I want somebody, please, somebody. Surely we got somebody in the chat from Maryland. Could someone please tell me one of Chris Van Hollen's policies?
And just
off
one.
the top. Just off
Just
the
one.
top. Could somebody give me a successful Bernie Sanders policy, an AOC policy? Just off the top. Somebody, surely, of the Cory Booker. Let's.
It's a oligarchy. It's a oligarchy.
Okay, listen. I'm going to get on a private jet. I'm going to go to Coachella, and I'm going to talk to kids who finance their tickets to the concert, and I'm going to talk about the oligarchy.
Oligarchy.
And then AOC with her Green New Deal as she steps off of a private plane. And the only policy that Van Hollen doesn't have is voting against is the Lake and Riley Act because he didn't vote for that. Like,
Didn't vote for it.
So
He's
yeah.
oligarchy.
It's an oligarchy.
I mean, I'm just curious. I'd love to know anybody. Anybody can pop off. Just a policy, anything. Can somebody tell me, a voting record other than, what we just talked about for the Lake and Riley thing? Maybe a voting record for any of these people?
Yeah.
Scary part about all
But,
this is that
you know-
I know we're sitting here kind of laughing about, with dodging a bullet and all that, but 3.5 years from now we have another stupid
it's
person
coming, brother.
probably
It's
coming.
coming.
AOC is gonna be the leader of the Democratic Party, and half the country is gonna vote for her idiotic butt. So
Because we're gonna put our foot on their proverbial throats in the midterms, and we're gonna soul crush them in 2028
it
with
doesn't
the
matter, Todd.
hillbilly
it doesn't
Marine.
matter. We're still gonna have idiotic people on the left that are
Oh,
still gonna
there
vote
ain't
for
no
them.
doubt.
It's just,
There ain't no doubt. And they all look like this.
they all look-
They do, honestly.
They all look like this. The only thing Chad's missing is a septum ring.
They all look like they all look like a vagina hat wearing cowboy. So they look like-
There is some stuff. There is some
Yeah.
stuff coming up here, boys, that we're gonna come back and we're gonna revisit this conversation and prove this point. You can't be a liberal Riri like Kamala Harris that's drunk, because you know what? You've all been around Uncle Kenny at the Christmas party. It starts out happy drunk and then it turns to angry drunk,
Yep.
and Kamala Harris does not disappoint.
Yeah.
So here we go.
She
Angry,
ends
angry Mama
angry
Kalamala.
drunk. Yep.
Play
you
it.
know, it wears off. This is the end of her speech.
This country is ours.
It's all in the eyes, folks.
It doesn't belong to whoever is in the White House. It belongs to you. It belongs to us. It belongs to we the people.
Well, 80 million we the peoples voted for Donald Trump.
Yeah. And
So-
we, the people, are very happy that we don't have to listen to you from the Rose Garden talk about freaking elephants.
I mean,
Okay.
who in the world is she to lecture me? I mean, you've accomplished nothing, lady. You had a less than 1%, less than 3%, I'll be fair, less than 3% approval rating in the primaries in 2019. You were the first one out of the race, the Democrat primary. You had a 25% approval rating as vice president, the lowest in history. The lowest in history. You're hammered drunk. You had a horrible Not even Barack Obama could pull you across the finish line successfully, lady.
And Beyonce and Taylor Swift.
You spent $1 billion. You ended up $20 million in debt after your campaign. You had all the things in the world. Everybody from George Clooney to, like you said, freaking Bouncy Knowles, who had your back, and you couldn't get anywhere near the presidency, lady. So who are you to lecture anybody?
Those people
About
are
this.
so delusional, the people on the left here, because everything she's spewing out there is all lies. And I mean, if they really cared about the country and how she's saying that the country belongs to you, it belongs to us, why weren't they there taking care of us? Well, all the prices going through the roof and letting in all the murderers and opening up the borders and just bombarding our country with nothing but POSs coming through every single country in the world.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't care about our country. They don't care about us. They care about money. They care about putting people in there and getting their agendas through. They care about votes. They don't care about us.
Let me tell you something. I have people. I want to tell you guys real close. I have people all the time in the chat who says, why do you show us these people? Why do you show us? Because I want you to behold the face of tragedy. I want you to see it. I want you to see the blood, the guts, the eyeballs, the ass, and the horror. I want you to see all of the nastiness you could have lived with, all of the stuff we could have been subjected to. People that wanted to put you on a train to re-educate you. Let me tell you something. We would have been persecuted. January 6ers would still be in prison. All of the stuff that they would be bringing the abortion clinic to your neighborhood like the ice cream truck. Ding 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 a ling a ling ding ding ding. And they would be cutting the balls off your children and putting pornography in the middle school library. So you need to behold the face of tragedy, because in a couple of years, in a year and a half, we got a midterm. Then in a couple of years, we got another presidential race. You need to behold the face of chaos. Look at the train wreck. Watch it in slow motion. Back it up and watch it again, because we don't want this level of insanity running our country. That's why we're going to show you. We're going to keep on showing you. We're going to make sure you see it with all of its glory, both eyes open, like the movie where they got to peel them open. And look at this craziness of Kamala Harris. Ah!
Yeah. There is a reason that every NFL, every Major League Baseball, every professional team watches film over and over and over. That's to say, okay, we were doing this. We want to do this. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Dear America is your film session.
Yeah.
Hey, this is who we were. Damn it, this is who we are now. And this is how we got here.
Yeah.
If we don't want to go this way, we want to go this way. That's why
what
we
I'm
show
talking
you this stuff. This is your film session, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh man, one of us needs to learn how to talk like John Gruden. Just
You ever watch? You don't watch the highlights to see the boring parts of the game. You don't watch ESPN. You don't watch SportsCenter for the boring parts of the game. No, you want to see the train wrecks. You want to see the crushers. You want to see the victories and the massive losses. You want to see a guy get his head ripped off. I want to see gladiators do battle while girls in short skirts that know they're women dance around with pom-poms in the air, shaking, gyrating, and woohoo! I want to go back to the Coliseum, baby. And are you not entertained? That's what I want to see. As a reminder, so when we put the boot on the back of their neck in 2028, when we do it in 2026, we're reminded that it's a Carthaginian peace. We not only beat you, we plowed up your fields and we poured salt on it so nothing will ever grow in your progressive, liberal, retarded field again. Get all the septum rings and hair dye you want. You gotta go. Put the American flag in the chat, baby. God, it makes me want to jump out of the stands at a Pirates game. Let me tell you about my friends over at Backyard Butchers. They locked the price in. They locked it in. Backyardbutchers.com/Chad. I don't care what the meat market does. I don't care if you go to the grocery store, you go to the Kroger, the Publix, the HEB. I don't care what happens. I don't care what happens over there. Backyard Butchers has locked the price in. If you get subscribed to Backyard Butchers right now, today, they'll lock the price in for the rest of the year. So you can get the delivery box of your choice, steakhouse, backyard, farmhouse. You can get a whole steer, half steer. They'll deliver it each month over the course of 12 months. And you can go shopping. I like meat. I'm eating a steak tonight, baby. I've already made up my mind. I had to go eat crappy sushi last night. Finest restaurant in Houston. It was still the crappiest sushi because it's sushi. And I don't mind sushi, but it ain't beef. It ain't beef. I like beef. No crazy hormones, no vaccines, no steroids, none of the crap. Texas ranchers, family ranchers, Texas beef. Get it sent to your house. They'll send it to you. Party Foul Steve, he's been under the weather, but he's been over there eating that Backyard Butchers. Go to backyardbutchers.com/Chad. Get that price lock guarantee. You can subscribe and get even more money off. Use promo code Chad. Type it in there, and let's see what's up. Backyardbutchers.com/Chad. All right.
Chad.
CHADL, spell it Chad. NMLS 1834567 Judge has ordered the Border Patrol not to do their jobs.
Pretty much.
Now think about this. This glamour shot judge. Boy, she is airbrushed to death. I'd love to compare a real picture of her.
That is a Karen if I've ever seen one.
Boy, she makes a beeline for the manager.
That is a Karen.
Who airbrushes their? Okay. She's told Border Patrol not to do their job. Play this clip real quick. It's a little.
All right, another judicial pushback against President Trump's immigration crackdown. This comes after dozens were arrested in January during Border Patrol's Operation Return to Sender, where agents rounded up people determined to have entered the who were determined to have entered the country illegally.
Said it again.
Yesterday, California District Judge Jennifer Thurston demanded CBP agents cannot arrest suspected illegal migrants without a warrant or reason to believe the person is a flight risk before they can get one.
Yeah, and what did Marco? What did Marco say? Hold my beer.
Hold my beer.
Hold my beer.
Go ahead, Tony.
If I were head of the Border Patrol over there, I would tell all my agents, you know what? F her. You guys do your jobs. Can't tell these criminals coming through or trying to come through. F her. She's got nothing on us over there. What's she gonna do? Come down to the border and arrest every single one of us? No, we're doing our job. We're keeping the country safe. F her.
And trust me, pull that back up real quick, Todd, if you don't mind. Because I just want to show a comparison. I'm gonna be mean for a second. So you see her glamour shot, and then if you go to the video and you scroll in about 15 seconds, you'll see what she actually looks like. Scroll that sucker over to her picture. Like this is that's what she looks like. See, that's what liberalism does to you. Liberalism ain't a glamour shot, folks. Somebody should put that on a T-shirt right there. Liberalism ain't a glamour shot. It's pure ugly, and
It's
that's what
all
it brings
of them,
out.
man. Like
it
Kathy
manifests on your
Griffin,
Joker face.
Rosie O'Donnell, Rachel Maddow. It's like, man, it just eats away at their soul.
It does from the inside out. But let me say to your point, Tony. I know a lot of Border Patrol agents. We all do. I know a lot of them. They don't give a rat's ass what this woman says.
Not at all. Not
They
even.
don't
And
care.
there's one brother, I promise you, that
Yeah.
border czar.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, Tom Homan's got some words for that. But I love the name of that, Operation Return to
I
Sender.
know. That's great.
I mean, that's funny. But I mean, you know what? You can get in a Texas detention center and you can make a SOS signal.
Yeah, this is great right
Which,
here.
by the way, SOS in Spanish, when you say that out loud, means something different. Then
I'm gonna turn the volume off. There you go.
there they go. They're forming an
just said
SOS for the
SOS.
drones.
Please help
Well,
us. We want to
I
get
mean-
back to killing and murdering and raping and molesting and selling drugs and destroying the American people.
SOS. That is hilarious. That's
SOS,
one of the
which
funniest
means
things
what?
I've seen today. It just means it is.
It is. That's like it's just a verb of being, right? It's just like a I am verb, like SOS.
It is. Yep.
SOCKS.
That's just, it's just funny that these guys these guys all got together and said, let's spell out SOS. We're in here for, like Todd just said, we're in here for possibly murdering, killing, selling drugs, whatever. I mean, you don't get thrown in jail just for not paying your parking tickets. Well, I guess you can, but it's just again, it's one of those things that let's coordinate and get together and see if we can have the drones come up here and help us.
Well, I mean, you got to give them props. At least they spelled it right. I mean,
that's true. Yeah, that's true.
Better than some of them Mississippi folk could do.
That's right. There'd be a Q in there somewhere.
I before E.
Yeah, except after C, right?
And you got to give it to these guys. At least they were smart enough to know that this was going to be a viral clip.
Yeah.
That it was going to be out there. So, that they knew that was going to happen. But anyway, return to sender, baby.
Yeah.
I like that. And again, I'm going to say what I was going to say. I'm going to say what I was going to say because I want to go. So this is our justice system in America. Okay, so you have Border Patrol agents who can't do their job. They can't arrest illegals. We can't put illegals in detention centers. We can't put them in holding facilities until, I mean, those guys, they look reasonably well fed. They're out there getting the sunshine. They're doing their thing. Again, they could have stayed home. You're like, well, it's unfair that they're in where. No, they could have just stayed home. They didn't have to walk up here. They could have not listened to the Biden administration's open campaign for open borders to bring them up here and come up here in mass migrations that funded traffickers and human traffickers and sexual assaulters and rapists and all this kind of stuff. We can go on, but we can turn a blind eye to all that stuff. By the way, guys, if you missed the Chad Prather show yesterday afternoon, you need to go watch my little mini documentary on why you should hate the media more, okay? You should really hate the media more. You go back and watch yesterday's episode. But the Tesla firebomber, this is justice. The Tesla firebomber, judge let her go, let him go, it go, whatever. Doesn't know what it is. Play this clip. Listen to the mental illnesses he lists off. This is what the judge. So again, I want to remind you guys that this judge doubled down that all of these things he's about to list off, listen closely, they're all mental illnesses. Play it.
Bria and John, the government wanted Owen McIntyre to spend the time before trial behind bars, but the judge in Boston sided with the defense in this case, which cited multiple medical issues facing the 19-year-old, including autism spectrum disorder, gender dysphoria, and ADHD. McIntyre's attorney argued the teen should be released citing serious and ongoing medical needs and treatments that could not or would not be provided while in federal detention. The defense filing says McIntyre is being treated for depression and since March has been receiving gender-affirming care. That care would likely be interrupted or terminated in federal custody. Bria and John, the government wanted Owen McIntyre.
All right, can we just be real here? All right, can we just stop? Hit the pause button. The producer needs a 30. Okay. That judge did not give a rat's ass about ADHD or autism or any of that. The only reason that Shimahim got out of jail is because of gender affirming care. You mean to tell me they don't have Ritalin in a prison and they're being treated for depression? Of course you're being treated for depression. You're behind bars wearing an orange jumpsuit, you Peckerwood. Everybody's depressed in there. Okay, you're a caged animal, but guess what? You deserve to be a caged animal because that's what you are, moron. Once you do something that stupid, you forfeit your right to hang out with humanity. That's how this works.
So if that person had taken a little waltz through the Capitol on January 6th, had gone through waving a flag and had a selfie sticker, had been in there or whatever, walked around at the behest of some of the Capitol Police that opened the doors for him. If that person had walked through the Capitol building, guess what? They wouldn't have given a about any of those things they listed off. Now, it is very interesting that the government, according to that reporter, that judge did deem that person with a number of medical issues. One of the medical issues was gender dysphoria. That is one of the things. Now, again, I don't know if you guys know this or not. They're putting a lot of people in prison with gender dysphoria because they're putting dudes in women's prison. So, I mean, we got that's going for us. I mean, they're getting women pregnant because they're pretending to be women. And
dude, that's brilliant. That's absolutely
they're doing it. They're putting them in there. And what if this person would have firebombed? The problem is the person just happened to firebomb the right place.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line.
That's
it.
And
then being gender affirming care. Fantastic point, Todd. They just firebombed the place that the judge agreed with.
Mm-hmm.
I think, obviously we can see that our judicial process is broken over here with all these liberal judges, going over everybody's head and, taking out I mean, they're literally taking out everything that we're fighting for. I mean, all the hard work that the police officers do, all the investigation, all the recovery of evidence, the prosecuting attorneys, everything. They're superseding everything that they're doing. I mean, they're taking it upon themselves to say, nope, everything you guys are doing doesn't mean crap because I'm gonna do whatever I want anyways. We need to get rid of all these judges, and I mean, I'm all for going to like a kind of a form of like that movie Judge Dredd. Put the freaking judges in charge there, and let them be executioner, punisher. Boom, right there. Here, you firebomb.
Love it. Well, I'm just gonna tell you right now, the next little septum ringing, purple haired snowflake that steps up to the plate, I'm gonna curb stomp you, and then when they try to throw me in jail, I'm gonna claim gender dysphoria. See if it works for everybody.
I should try that, Todd, because I'm a diabetic. All I have to say is I didn't take enough insulin, and I was in a mood swing, and I had to kill those 20 people that are over there. I'm sorry, can I go home now?
But see, here's the reason why it wouldn't work for you, Todd. And they know this. They know this, folks. I'm going to tell you guys, everybody in the chat, everything, blow it up, put a few American flags in there. Let me make sure you're still alive, okay? Click like at the bottom of the video. Let me tell you why it wouldn't work for us if we said, you know what, I'm dealing with gender dysphoria. You know why we could not get away with that? Because they would take one look at us and be like, nope, you guys are pretty normal. Like, y'all look too normal. But they look at people like that and say, yeah, they look like there's a chromosome floating around in there somewhere. Like there's something just off. Like there's something off. So they can look at these people and say, okay, that's believable because that person's not right in the head.
Yeah.
But they look at you. That's just like when Zuby broke the world's record deadlifting thing as a woman. He identified as a woman long enough to break the female deadlifting, and nobody took it seriously. They said, oh, he's just doing satire. It's parody. Because they know Zuby's got common sense. They look at these people and know dadgum well, these people are not playing with a full dadgum deck. The elevator doesn't get the chop. The cheese is slid off the cracker. The watermelon ain't got no seeds.
The wires are not touching.
Ding, ding, ding. I mean, it's just off, bro. It's like a, you walk up to the carnival barker, he's going to guess your weight and says, no, you're retarded.
Yes.
I mean, that's what we're dealing with here. I love that word's back.
Me too. I'm so glad. I miss the old school America that,
Drink out of a water hose.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
These people drink. Anyway. They've been doing this thing at the White House. I was there Monday where they're bringing in, I hate the phrase influencers. Hate it. I've always said an internet personality or an internet sensation is just a very popular person that's unemployed. But they keep bringing them into the White House, and they're doing these little press briefings with Carolyn Levitt, and most people are asking a softball question. It's a feel-good thing for the 100 days, so where they can bring in friendlies, and they do it. So Dom Luker asked this question. It's a totally expected question about Hillary. And this is sort of like, I was there Monday. I didn't know what I was going to, but I never know what I'm going to at the White House. So anyway. But I have some criticisms of what they're doing a little bit. I get it, but some criticism. But let's play Dom's clip here. Here's his question.
Thank you. Thank you for giving me the honor to be able to ask a question and provide some transparency for the American people. Speaking of, I wanted to reference the election integrity. A lot of people in America are questioning if there's any possibility that we could see further investigations for anyone that could have violated our election integrity rights. And more importantly, so is there any possibility for names such as Barack Hussein Obama, Hillary Rodham Clinton to ever just possibly get investigated for any of these, questions from the American people, any of the wrongdoings they might have done?
Well, it's refreshing to actually hear a question on election integrity because the legacy media would never ask such a question. They're so out of touch with where the American people are on this issue. And
I love Carolyn. I love Carolyn. But these softball questions, like, we asked a couple of difficult questions that I felt like were cop-out answers. One of the ones was the one I asked about the whistleblowers. And I, she didn't address what he asked in that deal about, prosecution of or holding accountable people like Obama or Clinton. And so this kind of thing is like, let's if we're going to have the opportunity, I'll just say this, if we're going to have the opportunity to bring people in there, and these people are my friends, I know them all. If you're going to bring us in there and give us that honor of being there, let's ask some real questions.
Yeah. Exactly, and that was kind of my point.
I'm not picking on Dom. I think that's a fair question he asked. But let's do ask some fair questions. And I'm not saying Dom didn't. I'm not saying that at all. But these easy ones, I'm like, let's ask some questions. Let's get to the bottom of it, and then say no, that's not the answer.
Yeah, well, and that's a part for me, and I got nothing against, Chad, you go and you did ask a difficult question. DC Drano asked a difficult question, but
I don't think she was a fan of that.
But if you go back to like Tim Pool, he literally pointed out it really wasn't a question; it was more of a statement than anything. Pointed out all the hatred that was already in the room. But again, part of being an American and living in this society and in this constitutional republic is that it's our responsibility to question our leadership, regardless if me and you were on the same page or not, regardless if you're a leftist, epitard, mouth breathing, rock with lips, rooster fish, or if you are like-minded individual like me, a red-blooded, gun-toting, pocket knife carrying American. It's your responsibility to question your leaders, okay? So with them filling the White House with like-minded individuals and not having pushback or getting softball questions or getting asked difficult questions by Chad, by DC Drano, by Tim Pool, and then deflecting, I don't like that. I have to be honest, I don't like that. Part of being an American is the expectation that you can question your leadership and get an answer.
Yeah. Go ahead, Tony.
I was gonna say I 100% agree with you, Todd, because what's the difference of what the White House is doing now? Well, at least in this instance here, with the press secretary there, when 60 Minutes edited that whole Kamala Harris interview there, where they weren't showing 100% not being 100% transparent there. I mean, if we're feeding them softball answers, as you said, Chad, I mean, where is the truth and transparency for us? I mean, we want to see them answer tough questions from not just the left, but also the right. And we need both people, whether you call them influencers or reporters or whatever, go in there and ask tough questions, because nobody wants to know, like, hey, what's the day going to be like tomorrow? No, we're going to be like, hey, when's when are the grocery prices going to come down? We want some tough questions in there.
Yeah, and for Rogan, DC Drano, for Rogan to ask the question about the Epstein files is a fair question. I think, especially after we were there and they set us up with something. We weren't even there for that.
Yeah.
And we kind of got set up with a whole deal, which is old news. But hey, I'm thinking and she didn't like that question from what I understand afterwards. I think it's because, again, it's a Pam Bondi question, not a Carolyn Levitt, but you're the face of the team, honey. Mm-hmm. So I apologize. I should not have called her honey on that deal. That's disrespectful to her office and her position, and she's doing a fantastic job. She's A+.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I don't
she's
mean
great.
I'm not being. I call everybody honey, so I'm not being disrespectful.
That's a Southern thing.
Just to be very clear.
You don't call me honey.
I don't call you honey.
That's not true. I do too.
But I call everybody darling, dear, and honey, and sugar, and all this stuff. But it's just anyway.
You can call me Papi.
Yeah, Papi, Big Daddy, Zaddy.
No, Papi.
But yeah, but. That's the thing. I think if we know we're going to be invited into something like that on occasion, let's go in prepared to legitimately do it. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah, just tough questions, man. I mean, stop giving them a little softball. I mean, they did that for Biden, dude. We don't want that crap anymore. We want some tough questions in there.
Yeah, and I consider Carolyn Levitt a friend, so she's a friend. But anyway, that's that. Sugar, honey.
Wow.
Promises made, promises kept. I do like JD. JD had a statement to make. Dude impresses me every time he opens his mouth.
Yeah, he does.
I mean, I just, whatever you guys.
I love this guy.
I know there's people in the chat, and some of you guys just watch this stuff and you like to complain just to be complaining because you think Israel's sitting out your window looking at you. But, listen, JD, dude, this guy is solid. I mean, just solid. I mean, he's just one of the smartest guys in the world. He might be fooling all of us, but let's play this clip right here and see what he had to say.
From the time that I was born to the time that Donald J. Trump was inaugurated just a few months ago, we went from, again, 40 years, we went from the world's manufacturing superpower to one in which we depend on the People's Republic of China to make the things that we need. We went from the proudest military in the world to one in which we failed to meet our recruiting goals. And we went from one in which bipartisan border policy was the consensus of both Democrats and Republicans to one in which we allowed 20 million people to run roughshod illegally over the countryside, causing crime, causing a stress in the welfare system. And again, that happened over the lifetime of the youngest member of the cabinet. And what has happened in 100 days is that we've started to reverse every single one of those negative trends. And I think what it shows to me is that the president, and you sit in the Oval Office and you see these portraits of presidents past, and let's be honest, most of them have been placeholders. They've been people who've allowed their staff to sign executive orders with an auto pen instead of men of action. And the reason the media attacks this administration as chaotic is because the president is solving the problems the American people set about to solve. He's actually doing the things that he promised that he would do. And Mr. President, it's been an honor to be part of it for the past 100 days.
That's good. I was going to say, put JD in the chat, little
Absolutely.
JD in the chat.
And can I just say to you guys here on the screen and to the chat, the folks that have been watching us for a long time, y'all know where my emotions were prior to this election in November. I mean, I said it countless times how much we were in trouble if Kamala would have won this thing.
Yeah.
And I will tell you, as much as I love me some Donald Jaquarius Trump, and I do, JD Vance has me really excited for 2028. Like, I mean, really excited. The possibility of going from 4 years of Donald Trump to 8 years of JD Vance, that is 12 years to get this country back on track to where the hell we were, you know, when I was growing up in this country, you know, to just hit that reset button, etch a sketch, build this thing from scratch, bring businesses in this country, strengthen the military, lower the taxes, make it to where your children can afford to buy a house instead of throwing money down the drain, renting, better our education systems where our kids are learning reading, writing, arithmetic, and history instead of gender studies and pornographic books and things of that nature, being able to worship and not worry about being called out for it. I am here for every freaking bit of it. Bring on the hillbilly in 2028.
Come on.
God, you literally read my mind, dude. I was thinking the exact same thing.
Man.
Just look at the differences here. We showed a clip of Kamala at the beginning of the show. I mean, look at that vice president compared to this vice president here. JD is so eloquent. He's so well-spoken. And Kamala is, okay, you see the little elephant? I mean, seriously. I mean, where were we? I mean, I knew we were here in those 4 years with Biden and Kamala on there, but I mean, we not only did we dodge a bullet. I mean, that doesn't even describe what we dodged. We dodged a freaking atomic bomb is what we dodged here, man. Having Trump in there and having the possibility of JD for the next 8 years after Trump. I mean, yeah, we are on the road to not just recovery but prosperity.
Yeah, and I don't want to play this next clip. Pop it up there though. Because it's long and it's hard to hear because this was in the cabinet meeting there. Basically, this was a question, again, Drano, he asked the question about will the president consider suspending habeas corpus in regards to these deportations. They asked him about this. Trump says he actually considers it. He says there's other presidents who has done that. Like he said, Abraham Lincoln has done that. You know, Abraham Lincoln, they did that in regards to, habeas corpus means you can't be held in prison or you can't be arrested or incarcerated without having a charge against you, right? Mm-hmm. So to say somebody's going to be deported without a charge against them, well, they do have a charge against them. They're in the country illegally. And Abraham Lincoln did it in regard to people's civil liberties as well as national security. This is an issue of national security. So he said, it's been used by 3 very highly respected presidents. I know Lincoln did it. I know Grant did it.
Yeah, FDR did it during World War II for the detaining of Japanese,
which again was wrong. In a situation like that. I mean, I say it was wrong. They probably were. The people who were here for the wrong reasons, nefarious reasons. But again, the detention way that it was done, at least the way history tells it, seems to be pretty wrong to me. But this deal is you're here illegally. I got to sneeze.
Bless you.
I'm allergic to habeas corpus. But this is the sort of thing where, it's a great debate worth having, I think, as, again, we're not saying, listen, I want to send these people here illegally to prison. I want to send them home. Like, we want to send them home. Yeah. Go to where you came from. Return to sender. You need to go back home. And as Trump has said numerous times, you can turn around and come back. But you got to come back the right way. If you don't self-deport and we deport you, you can't come back.
Yeah, well, the suspension of habeas corpus by Lincoln and even FDR, it's apples and oranges. That argument is apples and oranges if Trump were to do it, because Lincoln was doing with civil liberties and slavery and things like that, but that was his own people. That was American citizens. Whereas FDR, it could have been Japanese American citizens that were being put in detention centers and things like that because of Pearl Harbor and the war that was going on then. Completely different. These are people that are here illegally that have already committed a crime. As soon as you step across the border, you're a criminal. And all we're doing, you're not an American citizen. We're sending you to your crib. That's all we doing.
You get to go home.
Yeah.
Unless you're an MS-13 or Trinidad or Aragua gang member, then you've committed even more crimes. And so what we're going to do is we're going to send you to a prison in another country and let them deal with you.
Yeah.
Well, now let El Salvador's and their ACLU lawyers deal for you.
Exactly.
Fight for you.
And it's, talking about the cartels, the gang members and things like that, that's up for the other country to decide. We just sending you home. If they decide to let you run loose in El Salvador, that's their problem. Yeah. If they decide to lock you up and put you in chains because you are an animal, then that's on you. You're their citizen, not ours.
And if you get under that, and I want to hear from Tony, but if you get underneath that comment, and by the way, we will rumble raid here in just a few minutes. We got some more things to talk about, but we'll send you over to Vince's show. You can come back. But, with this thing, there are a lot of people in the comment section that say, oh, that would be the most dictatorial thing he could do. This is what fascists do. No. Dictatorial is opening up the borders and roughshod without any rules whatsoever, no regulations or accountability. It's letting tens of millions of people come across the southern border. That's allowing an invasion for the purposes of a political power move so that you can maintain your party's ability with all of your craziness to stay in those offices.
Yeah, there was no due process because there is a process to get into this country the legal way. So there was no due process when Biden was flying loads of planes over our sovereign border into American cities. There was no due process then. So why in the hell do we have to have the due process to get them out? Sorry, I'm not buying what you selling, and I ain't smelling what you stepping in.
Well, real quick, Tony, hang on 1 second. Play the Marco Rubio clip, and then we'll go straight to Tony on his thought on it. Play the Marco Rubio clip real quick.
You've been in touch with El Salvador. You brought up El Salvador in your remarks. Have you been in touch with El Salvador about returning Abrego Garcia as a formal request from this administration to me?
Well, I would never tell you that. And you know who else I'll never tell? A judge. Because the conduct of our foreign policy belongs to the President of the United States and the executive branch, not some judge. So we will conduct foreign policy appropriately if we need to, but I'll never discuss it. And no one will ever make us discuss it because that's how foreign policy works.
I mean, that's as simple as it gets.
Yep. I like it. Tony, what are your thoughts, buddy?
Dude, I've said it before many times on the show. I don't understand how one judge has supersedes the power of the President of the United States. Obviously, the President of the United States, this time anyways, got voted in by the popular vote and the electoral vote. So he's representing the people that want to change. And all these judges that keep blocking all the gang members and all the deportations or whatnot, those judges aren't for the people. They're not speaking for the people. They're speaking for themselves and maybe the state or the constituents that they think they're representing. But the president is doing things that's representing minimum half of our country here, trying to keep our country safe. And I agree 100% with what Marco Rubio just said and what the president is doing. There needs to be a due process, and I've always said that. I mean, you as soon as you enter the country illegally, you're a criminal. Your due process goes out the window because you already broke the law.
Yeah.
And I get it. There's a bunch of people in the chat or people that are left are gonna say they want a better life and whatnot. I get it. We all want a better life. And I was blessed enough to be born in this country. My family was blessed enough to be able to get their green cards, become U.S. citizens. I get it. But there was a due process there. Nobody skipped the line. Nobody skipped the line to be able to go over the president of the United States, our laws and our government. My family had to do it the right way, and there was a bunch of other families that did the same thing. They had to do it the right way. They had to wait their turns. They had to pay their fees. They had to hire lawyers and do everything. All these people that want to skip the line, all these people, all these judges that are representing all the people that are saying that we should let them in here and asylum and all that. That's all BS, man. I mean, they're using it to go against Donald Trump, and they're just making our country less safe than what it could be, because at the end of the day, President Trump and his administration looks like what he's doing is just trying to keep our country safe with keeping all these criminals out, and the judges are doing the complete opposite.
They are. And I didn't vote for any of those stupid judges.
Yeah, me either. And for me, there's a mic drop moment for every one of these arguments. For every one of these leftist, epitard, roosterfish arguments, there's a mic drop moment. And the mic drop moment for me is when Donald Trump put his hand on the Bible, raised his right hand, he said 3 things. He said, to the best of my ability, that I will preserve, protect, and defend. Preserve, protect, and defend.
Exactly.
And that's what he's doing. He's preserving our ways, he's protecting us, and he's defending us. And every politician takes that particular oath. Every member of the military takes that oath. And what I love about this man is he takes the protection and defense of the American people as a personal responsibility, period. And that's what he's doing. And if you don't like it, there's a one-way ticket. They sell it every day at Delta Airlines. Get the hell out of here.
All right, real quick. We got to jump over to this story real quick. Jump down. U.S.-Ukraine has signed a final agreement in the mineral deal. We're going to see how this thing turns out. Pop it down to that. And because we're going to do the Rumble raid here in a minute, go over to Vince's show. Then you can come back here if you want. You can stick with Vance, whatever. We love it. All the voices are valid, baby. So this is one of the questions that they did not air out. I mean, it was on the live feed, but I didn't make any clips. I asked Carolyn Levitt when I was there Monday about this conversation. Do we know anything that was going to come out of that? I think this is what obviously they were talking about. United States, they've signed a final agreement for the rare earth minerals. So that's good. I mean, these are investment projects. I think this protects Ukraine in a big way, because now you eliminate Putin's desire to just start ad hoc bombing Ukraine when you have American citizens, American workers, American contractors that are working in Ukraine. So that's a side note on that deal. Come down. The measure to block Trump's tariffs failed in the Senate. It seems like the tariffs are working. I mean, it's starting to show up here. We're going to see some results. What did we say last month? We said give it 6 months and let's see what we've got, who comes to the table, and I think we're going to see some killer results that are going to happen out of this. And then just real quick, because we can come back to this if we want to, boys, play the clip of the kid.
This is great.
Just teach your kid to read off this teleprompter and say these things.
Liberals are freaking out about tariffs. I'm just a kid, and I even know that tariffs can be very good for an economy. Did you know that Andrew Jackson, the only president to pay down the national debt, did it using 0 income tax and having only tariffs? Liberals would rather tax citizens on their income and possessions than tariff international organizations. Tariffs, yes. Taxes, no. Liberals are freaking out about tariffs.
Something right there.
Somebody make that kid the president of the state.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
20, 40, 50 years.
And some liberal goober out there will say, dude, y'all are grooming. Yeah, with common sense. It's a huge difference, you pervert.
Yeah, for real.
Smart kid. But, I brought it up on the show yesterday about Andrew Jackson. Andrew Jackson was the dude who brought it down.
Yeah.
And he used tariffs to do it. So
yeah, somebody made a good point. He's homeschooled.
yeah, no doubt. No doubt. Let's pop up the Rumble raid there, Todd.
Let's do it.
And then, but you know what, Tony, real quick, pray for us, dude, while the Rumble raid's up. Pray for us if you don't mind, my brother.
Be a quick one.
Yep.
Father, thank you so much for another great week. Thank you so much for blessing all of us with this great life here in the United States of America, the best country in the world. Thank you for keeping all the people in the live chat safe. And for anybody who needs prayers out there, please may you lay your hands on them and bless them through their life and our lives and keep us all safe. And all of God's people said, Amen.
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 Amen. Pop that
Get your
thing
super
up
questions
there.
in, ladies and gentlemen. Get your super question in.
Super chat.
Raid has
$5 or
been
more. We will
initiated.
ask that question. There it is. All right, guys. You guys are awesome. Come back and hang out with us. Now the numbers are starting to pop up on our show. It's a weird Thursday, dude.
It is. I think I've been reading and paying attention to the chat and Rumble. I think Rumble's having some issues today.
Yeah, they have to.
That's all right. We had a bunch of people here hanging out with us. And
we had some great folks, man.
Appreciate
great
everybody
folks.
hanging out with us. I mean, you guys can do all kinds of different things, and you're hanging out with a cowboy, a redneck, and a Mexican.
Yeah, dude. So there's Vince's show, and then I just hit the search, and I go right down. Why is Maggie Moo 32 at the top of my search engine? What? I guess it could be worse. Dear America, Click the thumbnail, and we're back, folks. Ta-da. We're back. We're back. We're back. Well, Robin McGrowan, not cool to do the raid during the prayer. We don't really have a choice.
I didn't do it during the. I didn't do it during the
No,
prayer.
yes,
I waited
right.
until the prayer was over, man.
You waited till the prayer was over?
I did. I did mess up and do that yesterday, and for that I apologize.
Ugh, that last little sip.
Yeah, it's where all that. It's where all the powder's at the bottom.
Yeah, it's all the powder. But boy, you know what? I didn't know that I liked the fit as much as, like, I had somebody. Had somebody was asking, like, what's good for like a fatty liver? Somebody asked me last night. And so I started Googling the different peptides that are in this one. And like, there's like 6 peptides that are in this deal that are good for stuff like that. And then I started Googling what else it benefits. And it's crazy. Like menopausal women with focus. Anyway, we love Make Wellness.
We love it. I'm telling you, Kendra's down 4 pounds. I'm down 1% body fat. It didn't lose any muscle mass. I mean, this stuff
Yeah,
works,
their lean
man.
doesn't target muscle loss. It's all peripheral fat, which is cool. And y'all can join mine and Todd's team because we are absolutely killing it.
Loving this stuff, man.
And people are like, why do you talk about this all the time? Listen, guys, this stuff right here has changed my life. This product has changed my life. Incredible. Anyway, there's a lot of stuff we could have gotten into today. We didn't get a chance to do it, but man, I think this mineral deal is going to be great. I think it's going to be a further escalation to peace there in Ukraine. And you know what? I'm all for the deportations. I voted for that.
For sure.
I voted for that. Let's do some super chats, boys.
Let's do it. All right. From the Wolf Man. See you, LeBron. MJ will always be the GOAT. Let's go, Knicks. Love you. Stay awake. It is 100%.
I agree.
It was never an argument for me, but you know. Primetime Donald. LeBron is overpaid, still doing exactly what he did in high school. If no one watched, he wouldn't be anything. I mean, I'm not going to take look, I'm gonna give credit where credit is due. The dude, it was a great ball player, but at some point, yeah, he went full retard. So, Sanctified Warfighter, Chad, the Backyard Butchers ad read confused me. I thought Texas beef is when Astros and Rangers fans got into a fight. Love you guys. Keep on keeping.
You're not wrong. Playing for that golden boot, baby.
That's it, dude. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Alicia Victoria didn't follow the law coming here, but want the law to protect them from leaving. I mean, again, that just goes. That's a mic drop moment right there. Again, the Wolfman. As a former New Jersey State prison worker, if you're trans, have ADHD or autism, you can still do time. I've worked with each type, and if you can burn a Tesla, disabilities matter. Do the time. Won't matter. Do the time. Exactly. You weren't disabled enough to set a car on fire. Like, Randall J. Hall. Todd, please explain to this damn Yankee, Pirate, Steelers, and Penguins fan what the heck is a rooster fish. Chat, you're going to have to help him out because I can't say it on this show. Chat, you can help him out. William St. Louis, question. The National Guard is still part of the military. It's a branch of the Army. Will Trump make California National Guard suffer financially because of the things Newsom is doing? Supposedly, our money is gone. Well, as a longtime member of the National Guard and the U.S. Army, no. If you're out of money, that's a state thing. That's not a federal thing. Now, the National Guard does get some budget from National Guard Bureau for sure, but that's based on your state's strength and has nothing to do with your state's policies. I wouldn't point the finger at Trump or the DOD for that. You're still going to get your funding based on the strength, which strength means the total amount of soldiers you have in your state versus what you're allocated versus what you have. You get funding based on that. So that's not a thing. Here. I'm supposed to be due training school for promotion, but due to California finance, it's likely to be pushed back again. Well, your state's budget has money allocated for training, and I'll just tell you, with every state, and I've been in several states, when that budget goes out, training's over. So that's a state thing. That's not a federal thing.
So Graham just answered our question. Graham just texted. He said the White House had a press briefing, so they got the top spot. That's what was happening. We were in the live feature, but we were not promoted as such. So good. Hey, You know what? That was good. That was a little, for office use only.
Little backdoor stuff there.
Yeah.
Little backdoor stuff there. From Sackett Mama. I'm excited to report after 10 years, 2 kids, dogs, and buildings, our lives, I'm finally marrying my best friend tomorrow.
Good for you.
Yay.
Good
Glad
for
to hear
you.
it.
Have a very blessed day tomorrow.
Have a wonderful wedding. And I didn't get an invitation. That kind of sucks. Let's see. Alicia Victoria. Nobody's above the law, right? That should include 100 illegal workers who contribute nothing to this country.
I mean, you're not
Yeah.
wrong. You're not wrong.
True statement. MD Foster. God bless you guys. Have a great weekend. You too. I hope you have a good one too.
Isn't it crazy though? Back to that point that was made prior to that, they were ready to lock Donald Trump up no matter what. They didn't give a rat's what about whether or not what the real evidence was or whatever. All those indictments that came along, they were ready to lock him up. They kept talking about seeing him in an orange jumpsuit. They were ready to go. So don't tell me these people believe in habeas corpus or the rule of law.
Yeah, sorry, they don't. Yeah,
And also, I don't want it to seem like we're heartless people here. I mean, I know this country is built on immigrants. I get it, but we cannot keep going. I think my problem with it is I know I'm 100% Mexican and my family were immigrants as well. But my problem with it is that all the politicians, they keep putting them on top of our citizens here. I mean, they fight for them. They fight for the immigrants. Giving them housing, giving them $2,500 Visa cards, while our veterans are living on the street, while our seniors are getting all their Social Security taken away from them. That's the BS that I'm talking about. I mean, if they want to come up with some program where they can have a streamlined way to get immigrants in here for work and all that, great. But don't leave our citizens behind. Don't leave our homeless veterans behind. Don't leave our seniors behind. That's the biggest problem that I have with it.
Yep. Neglected.
All right, and let's see. Sanctified Warfighter. You know what supersedes a warrant? Reasonable suspicion that a crime is being committed. Yeah, I agree. Like if a cop pulls you over and for speeding, and as soon as you roll the window down, marijuana smell hits him in the face, guess what? You're getting pulled out of your car. All right? I mean, you just are. Sackett Mama. You can come, but I'm in Utah, LOL. That's a long drive. that's a long drive. Yeah. And that's
but you
it,
could
ladies
do it if
and
you
gentlemen.
leave now.
Yeah, if I left now, I could, yeah.
Let's see. How many people out there are in Raleigh, North Carolina, or around Marion, Virginia, or Gatlinburg, Tennessee? Anybody out there? We got any North Carolina, Virginia, Tennessee people? Because I'm going to be there next week. Going to be there. Jesse Payton will be with me. We're doing a Right Side of Comedy, the Gulf of America comedy tour. We're going to be in Raleigh, Marion, Virginia, and Gatlinburg on the 8th, 9th, and 10th. WatchChad.com is where all the fun stuff is. And at the top of my homepage, you'll see a little link right there with my cute little face talking about Make Wellness. I see my North Carolina people.
Team Todd.
You could sign up under Todd, but
Team Todd.
He's on my team too, so it all works out.
Yeah.
We'll never come to Spokane, Washington. Yeah, I used to do the Bing Crosby Theater every year, but COVID happened, and things change.
Say it right.
Yeah,
it's COVID.
COVID. All right, Tony, what you got to say, baby?
COVID. I'm over here making fun of Todd. COVID.
Oh, we're gone until Monday, aren't we?
Yeah.
We are gone until Monday. Yep. Everybody, thank you guys again for hanging out with us this whole week. Thank you for hanging out with Todd and I on Monday and Tuesday, where Chad was. I don't know what Chad was doing on Monday and Tuesday. I don't know what.
I was asking the tough, hard-hitting questions to the press secretary at the White House.
Hard-hitting questions. Yep. That's what you were doing. Anyways, everybody have a blessed week. We'll see you guys on Monday.
And I will see you guys right here on the hot seat at 3 o'clock. If you're not following the hot seat, just go to that little bar up there, the search bar, type in the hot seat, one word. The hot seat is one word. Follow that channel. I'll see you guys at 3. We're gonna have some fun today. We're just gonna kick back, relax, and have a good old time.
Yeah, and for my show that I missed on Monday and Tuesday, I've got my show this afternoon. Then I'm going to do one tomorrow, and then we'll do a special weekend edition of the Chad Prather Show to make up for all of those, because I got things to say to you. Go back and watch yesterday's show talking about the history of the media, because yesterday was the 50-year anniversary of the fall of Saigon. And I used that to point out how the media has ignored or lied or brainwashed us for the last 50 years. And you go check that thing out. But I've got a lot going on. I'll be with you at 2 Central today. Of course, Todd's at 3, Maggie Moo, and then Brianna. I'm actually on Brianna's show today as well. I got to go over on the Newsmax here in a minute. I'm talking all dadgum day long, boys and girls. So watchchad.com is where all the fun stuff is. Don't forget to visit with our sponsors. Text DEER 989898 for Birch Gold, and also backyardbutchers.com/Chad. Use promo code Chad. And don't forget, pray for our boy Graham Allen up there in Washington, D.C. He wants it. He needs it. He loves you. And make sure that you're following him on all the socials. My name is Chad Prather, filling in for him. TikTok. Something is coming, folks. Something is coming, and it is going to be good for the Dear America family. In the meantime, for this show, we'll see you Monday morning. We love you. God bless you, and we'll talk to you then. Bye.